What if I told you that tonight, before you go to bed, you could do one simple thing with something already sitting in your kitchen, and wake up tomorrow feeling stronger, clearer, and more like yourself again? No pills, no expensive testosterone boosters, no complicated routines, just one small habit that can quietly shift your body from breaking down to building back up. Gentlemen, if you're over 50, this is especially for you, because every single night, your body opens a powerful 2-hour window, a hidden repair phase when it is designed to restore testosterone, clear out old hormones, recharge your cells, and rebuild the very systems that keep you energetic and confident. The problem is not that this window disappears with age. The problem is that most men never activate it. You go to bed, but your body doesn't switch into recovery mode. It stays stuck in stress mode. Instead of repairing, it keeps defending. Instead of rebuilding hormones, it keeps burning through them. And that is why you wake up tired. That is why your motivation feels lower than it used to. That is why you sometimes feel like you've lost that sharp edge you once had. I'm Dr. Mika Hayashi, a board-certified urologist, and for over 20 years I've worked with men over 50 who thought their best years were behind them. Men who believed low energy, reduced drive, and slower recovery were simply the price of aging. And I can tell you with certainty, age is not the main issue. Routine is. Your body still remembers how to perform at a high level. It still carries the blueprint of your prime, but it cannot execute that blueprint if you don't give it the right conditions before sleep. If your system goes to bed under stress, underfueled, or overloaded, it cannot complete the repair process it was built for. In a moment, I'll show you the exact combination of 2 natural ingredients that can help flip your body from survival mode into repair mode. But first, we need to understand why so many men over 50 feel stuck in low gear. Let's be honest, after 50, something changes. You wake up slower, workouts feel heavier, focus slips more easily. That steady, all-day energy you once took for granted starts fading. Most men shrug and say, "That's aging." But that explanation only scratches the surface. Inside your cells, your hormonal rhythm begins to shift. Testosterone, the hormone that supports energy, confidence, muscle tone, and drive, declines at about 1% per year after age 40. That gradual drop adds up. But hormones are only part of the picture. Your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside each cell, also slow down. When they produce less energy, your body sends fewer signals to your brain and glands to maintain strong testosterone output. Think of it like an engine that still works, but no longer receives clean fuel. It runs, but it doesn't roar. The reason you feel like your battery drains faster is not because your body forgot how to generate energy. It's because the conditions are no longer right. And here is the encouraging truth. Your body still knows how to operate at a higher level. It simply needs clean fuel, hormonal support, and a calm environment for repair. And that environment is created at night. The real reset does not happen in the gym. It does not happen during your morning coffee. It happens while you sleep. During deep rest, your body detoxifies, repairs tissue, and recalibrates hormone levels. But if you go to bed stressed, overfed, or undernourished, that reset never fully completes. So before I reveal the exact mixture that can support this nightly rebuild, you need to understand how this internal repair system works, and why most modern habits quietly shut it down. In the next part, we're going to open up the hood and look at what actually happens inside your body the moment you close your eyes. When you close your eyes at night, your body does not power down. It shifts gears. It moves from performance mode into restoration mode. And if you allow it to, this is where the real rebuilding begins. During deep sleep, 3 major systems work together quietly and precisely. Your hormonal system, your circulatory system, and your liver. If even one of them is disrupted, the entire repair cycle weakens. But when they operate in sync, your body can restore testosterone, recharge energy production, and reset your internal balance. Let's start with hormones. As you enter deep sleep, your brain releases luteinizing hormone, or LH. This signal travels to your testes and tells your body to produce testosterone. This is not random. The majority of daily testosterone production happens at night. But here's the catch. It only works efficiently when sleep is deep and uninterrupted, and when cortisol, your stress hormone, is low. If you stay up late scrolling your phone, watching intense news, or answering emails, cortisol rises. Bright light blocks melatonin. Mental stimulation keeps your nervous system alert, and when cortisol is elevated, your body switches into survival mode. In survival mode, reproduction and hormone rebuilding are not priorities. Protection is. Cortisol and testosterone do not coexist peacefully. When one rises, the other falls. So even if you are technically asleep for 8 hours, your body may never enter the deep hormonal repair phase it needs. You wake up thinking you slept enough, yet you still feel drained. Now let's talk about circulation. Healthy testosterone production depends on strong blood flow. Oxygen and nutrients must reach your glands efficiently. If circulation is sluggish or arteries are stiff, the delivery system weakens. Over time, that affects not only energy but overall male performance. Research from the University of Athens showed that men who regularly consumed extra virgin olive oil had higher testosterone levels and improved endothelial function, meaning their blood vessels stayed flexible and responsive. Flexible arteries mean better nutrient delivery. Better delivery supports better hormone output. Circulation is not just about the heart, it is about vitality. And then there is your liver, the unsung hero of hormone balance. Your liver processes old, used hormones and clears toxins from your bloodstream. It helps maintain the internal environment required for new hormone production. If your liver is overworked from alcohol, sugar, heavy late-night meals, or processed food, it cannot reset efficiently overnight. When that reset fails, hormone balance drifts further off course. Imagine trying to renovate a house while debris from the last project is still scattered everywhere. That is what happens when the liver cannot clear yesterday's hormonal byproducts. The system clogs. Energy drops, recovery slows. Do you see how interconnected this is? Hormones, circulation, liver function. They are not separate systems. They are a coordinated team. And they all depend on what you give your body before sleep. This is why simply lying in bed for 8 hours is not enough. Sleep duration alone does not guarantee repair. What matters is what your body is doing internally during those hours. And this is where something surprisingly simple comes into play. Because when you provide the right kind of fuel before bed, you support all 3 systems at once. You calm cortisol, you stabilize blood sugar, you nourish the liver, you protect blood vessels, you create the internal environment where testosterone can rise naturally, instead of being suppressed. That fuel comes from 2 ingredients you likely already have in your kitchen: extra virgin olive oil and raw honey. Now, before you dismiss that as too simple, stay with me. The science behind this pairing is deeper than most people realize. Olive oil does far more than support heart health. Raw honey is more than just sugar. Together, they create a slow, steady metabolic support system that carries your body through the night without triggering stress responses. Here's where this gets fascinating. Most people hear olive oil and think heart health. They picture Mediterranean diets and lower cholesterol. But very few men realize how deeply extra virgin olive oil supports hormone production, especially after 50. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats and powerful antioxidants known as polyphenols. These compounds protect your cells from oxidative stress, the kind of internal wear and tear that quietly slows testosterone production and damages blood vessels over time. Oxidative stress is one of the hidden accelerators of aging. It interferes with how your glands communicate and how efficiently your body produces hormones. When you reduce that stress, your hormonal system functions more smoothly. In one clinical study, men who replaced butter with extra virgin olive oil for just 3 weeks experienced a testosterone increase of more than 17%. Even more impressive, their luteinizing hormone, the signal that tells the body to produce testosterone, rose by over 40%. That's not advertising, that's measurable physiology. Olive oil also improves endothelial function, which simply means it helps your arteries stay flexible and responsive. Flexible arteries allow better circulation. Better circulation ensures oxygen and nutrients reach the tissues responsible for hormone production. And as every man understands, circulation plays a central role in overall performance and vitality. Now let's introduce the second ingredient, raw honey. At first glance, honey might seem like the wrong choice before bed. Many men hear sugar and immediately think blood sugar spikes, but raw, unprocessed honey is different from refined sugar. It contains trace enzymes, small amounts of minerals, and natural sugars that are metabolized more gradually. During sleep, your brain depends on glycogen, the stored form of glucose in your liver, to power the deepest stages of rest. As men age, glycogen storage capacity tends to shrink. When those stores run low in the middle of the night, your body responds by releasing cortisol to raise blood sugar levels. That cortisol spike often wakes you up between 2 and 3 a.m. Many men assume that waking up at that hour is insomnia. In reality, it is often a fuel shortage. Raw honey provides a steady trickle of natural sugars that replenish liver glycogen before sleep. This gentle supply helps prevent the overnight cortisol surge. When cortisol stays low, your body remains in deep repair mode. Testosterone production continues. Sleep remains uninterrupted. But here's where the combination becomes powerful. When you mix raw honey with extra virgin olive oil, the healthy fats slow the absorption of honey's natural sugars. Instead of a rapid spike followed by a crash, you get a sustained, gradual release of energy that can last 6 to 8 hours. That means your liver stays fueled, cortisol remains stable, and your body can focus on detoxifying, repairing cells, and rebuilding hormones. This pairing has been used for generations in Mediterranean cultures. Long before modern endocrinology explained it, people understood that certain natural combinations supported strength and vitality. Today, science is catching up and confirming why it works. Olive oil protects your cells and supports blood flow. Honey stabilizes nighttime energy supply. Together, they create a calm internal environment. And remember, testosterone rebuilds in calm, not in chaos. Now that you understand why this works, let's talk about how to use it correctly. Because timing, portion size, and consistency matter. Taken at the wrong time or in the wrong way, you won't experience the full benefit. All right, gentlemen, this is the part you've been waiting for. Let's make this practical, simple, and precise. About 30 minutes before bed, take 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil, cold-pressed if possible, and mix it with 1 teaspoon of raw, unprocessed honey. Stir slowly until the honey blends fully into the oil. Then take it straight from the spoon. No water. No chaser, that's it. Simple does not mean weak. In fact, simplicity is what makes this powerful. But timing is critical. Do not take this immediately after dinner. You want at least a 2-hour gap between your last meal and this mixture. Why? Because if your digestive system is still heavily active, your body's resources are focused on breaking down food, not on entering repair mode. You want your system calm and ready to transition into deep sleep. Once you take the mixture, dim the lights. Step away from screens. Let your nervous system begin to power down naturally. Now let's talk about what actually happens inside your body after you swallow that spoonful. As you drift into sleep, the natural sugars from the honey begin feeding your liver's glycogen stores at a slow, steady pace. This ensures your brain has enough fuel to remain in deep sleep without triggering a cortisol spike. No sudden stress signals. No unnecessary wake-ups at 2 or 3 a.m. At the same time, the monounsaturated fats and polyphenols in the olive oil begin protecting your cells from oxidative stress. They support endothelial function, keeping blood vessels flexible and responsive. That improved circulation ensures nutrients and oxygen continue reaching the glands responsible for testosterone production. Together, these two ingredients send a clear biological message to your body. You are safe, you are nourished, and you can repair now. That message matters more than most men realize. Your body cannot rebuild testosterone in a state of perceived threat. It rebuilds when cortisol is low, when fuel is steady, And when the internal environment feels stable, this mixture helps create those conditions. Now, let's set realistic expectations. The first night, you may not notice much. The second night, maybe you sleep slightly deeper. This is not a stimulant. It does not force energy into your system. It works by supporting your natural rhythm. After 7 to 10 nights of consistency, many men begin to notice subtle changes. They wake up feeling lighter. Their thoughts feel clearer in the morning. That heavy mental fog starts to lift. Motivation feels less forced. By the third week, the shifts become more noticeable. Energy stabilizes throughout the day, instead of crashing mid-afternoon. Digestion feels smoother. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. Many men also report improved physical responsiveness and steadier confidence. Why? Because when your body finally gets uninterrupted repair time, systems begin aligning again. Hormones stabilize. Circulation improves. The liver clears toxins more efficiently. Recovery accelerates. But here's the key. This works only if you stop sabotaging your nighttime repair in other ways. You cannot take this mixture and then scroll your phone under bright light for an hour. You cannot overload your liver with alcohol before bed and expect full restoration. You cannot go to sleep stressed and wired, and assume a teaspoon of anything will override that. This mixture is a support system, not a magic trick. Now this is where most men unknowingly undo their own progress. They exercise during the day. They try to eat reasonably well. Some even invest in supplements. But when night comes, they sabotage the very repair system they're trying to strengthen. And it happens so quietly that they don't even realize it. There are 3 major mistakes that shut down nighttime hormone recovery: mental stimulation before bed, overloading the liver, and going to sleep metabolically empty. Let's start with the first one: stress before sleep. When you scroll through your phone, watch intense news, argue online, or check work emails late at night, your brain does not interpret that as harmless entertainment. It reads it as stimulation and potential threat. The result? Cortisol rises. And as we've already established, cortisol and testosterone compete. When cortisol is elevated, your body prioritizes survival. Hormone rebuilding gets postponed. Even if you stay in bed for 8 hours, your nervous system remains partially alert. You wake up technically rested, but biologically unrepaired. The solution is simple but powerful. Give your brain a buffer zone. At least 30 to 60 minutes before bed, remove screens. Lower the lights. Let your nervous system shift gears gradually instead of slamming on the brakes. Now let's talk about the second mistake: poor liver support. Your liver works the night shift. While you sleep, it processes toxins, metabolizes used hormones, and prepares your bloodstream for the next day. But if you eat heavy meals late, consume alcohol frequently, or overload on processed sugar, your liver becomes overwhelmed. An overloaded liver cannot efficiently clear hormonal byproducts. That means yesterday's imbalances spill into today. You wake up groggy, slightly inflamed, sometimes puffy, and low on drive. It's not random. It's unfinished cleanup. If you're serious about rebuilding vitality, reduce alcohol, especially on weeknights. Finish dinner earlier. Keep nighttime eating light and intentional. Let your liver actually do its job. The third mistake may surprise you: going to bed on an empty tank. Many men over 50 believe skipping dinner or eating extremely light will help burn fat or improve sleep, but your physiology changes with age. Overnight repair requires fuel. If your liver runs out of glycogen during sleep, your body responds by releasing cortisol to raise blood sugar. That cortisol spike interrupts deep sleep and suppresses testosterone production before it even begins. This is where the olive oil and honey mixture becomes strategic. It is not a heavy meal. It is not a sugar overload. It is a controlled, steady source of fuel combined with protective fats. It prevents the overnight crash without overwhelming digestion. Think of it as insurance for your repair window. But even with the perfect mixture and avoided mistakes, there is one more layer that determines success: your environment. Now let's bring everything together. You know what to take. You know when to take it. You know what mistakes to avoid. But if you truly want this small ritual to transform your mornings, you need to make sure your environment allows it to work. Think of your body like a high-performance engine. Even the cleanest fuel cannot compensate for poor timing and bad conditions. So let's tune the system properly. First, timing matters. Finish dinner at least 2 hours before bed. That gives your digestive system time to settle so your body can fully transition into repair mode. About 30 minutes before sleep, take your teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil, mixed with raw honey. After that, dim the lights and step away from screens. Blue light from phones and televisions suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals deep sleep. Without melatonin, your repair cycle weakens. Second, control your sleep environment. Your bedroom should feel like a recovery chamber. Cool, dark, and quiet. Research consistently shows that the ideal temperature for restorative sleep falls between 66 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. If the room is too warm, your body struggles to enter the deeper sleep stages where testosterone release peaks. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask to block artificial light. If outside noise disrupts you, consider soft white noise to stabilize your nervous system. When your body feels safe and undisturbed, hormonal rebuilding becomes more efficient. Third, support the process during the day. Get sunlight in the morning to anchor your circadian rhythm. That simple exposure helps your brain release melatonin naturally at night. Engage in resistance training several times a week. Strength training sends a clear signal to your body that testosterone is still needed. Stay hydrated. Focus on whole foods rich in healthy fats. And limit alcohol, especially close to bedtime. Remember, your liver is doing the heavy lifting overnight. Do not burden it unnecessarily. Within 1 week of aligning these habits, many men report deeper sleep and more stable morning energy. Within 2 to 3 weeks, clarity improves. Recovery feels smoother. Mood stabilizes. Physical responsiveness strengthens. These are not dramatic overnight changes. They are steady biological corrections. When rhythm returns, vitality follows. But here is the most important truth I want you to understand. This is not just about testosterone. It is about reclaiming your internal rhythm. After 50, your body sends subtle signals: fatigue, slower recovery, reduced drive. Most men blame age. Some blame genetics. But often, your body is simply asking for balance. This nightly ritual, olive oil and raw honey before bed, is not a magic cure. It is a message. A signal that you are giving your system consistent fuel, calm conditions, and permission to repair itself the way it was designed to. And when you stay consistent, something shifts. You wake up with more intention. Your thoughts feel sharper. That steady confidence, the kind that comes from feeling strong in your own body, begins to return. So here's my challenge to you. Commit to this for 7 nights. Just 7. 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil. 1 teaspoon of raw honey. 30 minutes before bed. Protect your sleep environment. Notice how you wake up. Pay attention to your clarity, your energy, your drive. Then come back and share your experience in the comments. Tell me what changed. Did you sleep deeper? Did your mornings feel lighter? Did your motivation improve? I read the comments, and your feedback helps other men take control of their health as well. If you found this helpful, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos on men's health, hormone balance, and long-term vitality. Share this with another man over 50 who needs to hear it. Because you cannot stop time, but you can absolutely control how you age. And tonight, with 1 simple spoon, you can start rebuilding.